The question is, this might be so fast that by the time you turn this on, it's over. There's plenty of things I wanted to show you. In the resolution, everybody knows, okay, that on the 3 card, there's a 1 dot that goes here. On the 1 card, ace, there's a 1 dot that goes here. On the 5 card, which continues here, 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 it contains the 1 dot. And on the 9 card of birth, connects the 1 dot. So it means really all of the odd numbers, actually, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, pass through here. Except, as you know, there's no letters on your telephone, and there's a question mark on your keyboard on the 1 or the A over here. Well, the 1 and the 1 don't exist. In this world, they exist inside of man. So they end up going over here. That's why the spirit is 91 and 19. Because the letter S is even the 19th letter. Imagine the word spirit, okay, is a total of 91, and the S letter is 19. But then somebody might say, what about the soul? Give me a second. 21 and 19, 40 to start the game. 40 and 15 is 55. 65. The soul is the spirit of man, 67. 67 and 91 equals 158. Oh my God, it comes out perfect. Comes out to 158. That's exactly what it is. The one spirit, man as avatar, is the 5, and he's in the 8 heaven. How do you get the 8 heaven? This is the overlap. This is the overlap of 2 and 2, 4, and 2 and 2, 4, and 2 and 2, 4. That makes your 12 tribes. Total is 158. And wouldn't that be crazy that the highway next to my house is the 158? In fact, all the numbers I do, they always work out to something all about me. Because at the end, once you learn all the numbers, you'll actually be learning all that I see, all about me. How I perceive it. Obviously, if you see the numbers the way I do, you'll see it the same way. But it doesn't matter, you know. So anyways, when you hold this really back, look, here's the 2 eyes of the fox. You ever see the picture cards that they're always on an angle? This is the reason, okay? Because the passage from this side through here to the other pass. Now this is a hexagon, and this one going the other direction would be a hexagon. You remember I told you those things that turn like this between 45 degrees and 45 degrees this way, or 45 degrees this way? And the other one underneath, the way it spins 45 degrees this way, between 45 degrees this way. It's like a watch. I mean, I don't even know how a watch works. But don't forget, because I can't go through this, I'll stop it from working. Okay? That's why they're called the 10-10s. One side makes the other side connect. Anyways, what I really came on here to say, that I don't even remember, I found something really good. Oh yes, the other side is, when the 1 doesn't exist, right, like over here, because 2 is between 1 and 3, now 2 is what the total of 1 and 3 is. It would be 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1 is 11, 11. 11 times 11 is 121. Because the 2 owns both of these sides. That's how it came 2 of God. It became the 2 of God because it owns this side and this side of it. It owns the whole of both sides, so both sides are gone. Now over here goes the 5. Here on this side is the 4. Here on this side is the 6. They own this side, they own this side. But since this is the side of the 1 and it doesn't exist, the only side that's left over is 2, which would be here. And on this side it would be 6. And down here it would be 2, 6. So 6, 22, 6 actually means this side connecting to this side of where 3 and 3 creation is, because this is the 3 block and this is the 3 block. This is Pluto. Okay? And don't forget, the odd numbers also connect outside. You know how the odd numbers connect? Take an ace like this, connect 1 here to 1 here. Don't you see at the bottom of the ace there's a little stand? Well, that's so it connects to what's below it. It's welded to something below it. I don't know the way the whole thing works, but just like this, when you cut, if you cut off one part of the design, the part that I used to cut off was 3, 5, 7. This is all halves, okay? This is a pointy corner. We cut all corners off. We use them for something else, but I'm going to show you the real count. The real count is 9 and 8 is 17, and 6, beta creation, okay? 3 and 5 is 8. 8 and 7 is 15. 15 and 23 is 38. That means creation of the 4, like I showed you here. 2 and 2, 4. 2 and 2, 4. That part of the creation. And then, boom, the Spirit of God comes upon us, and He closes the pin in the center, and then we begin, and that's the 9 card. There was something on here that was very interesting. Oh, when you ever play roulette, you see this over here, when you ever play roulette, this is beta, okay? This is alpha, and this is alpha and creation. This is the beta cube, using 1 and 3 inside our egg. This is just a spirit. Oh, and that's for sure true. Then not only that, but if you take a look at this, it seems cut off, and if you put eyes here, it looks like the wolf. At the same time, it can look like a tie that meets in the center. But at the same time, if you take a look, if I continue this, it will go right to here and right to here. And this one will be a pentagram going into each other, overlapping each other on this. They do that on cards, and then you only see the top part, or then you only see the bottom part, and you're never sure what it is. And you see this indentation? They have that in the cards too, and then they have an ace inside of it, like a little dome. Those little domes are like half the eggs. The ace is the spade, it's the point, it's half man's body. I don't know how it all works, but I can tell you one thing. I do know, and I am so certain inside of me, that we were created out of something, like out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? This is the electronic world. There is a God. He's coming. There is a Christ. He was here. He will be back. And it's going to be very, very soon. Another thing about these chemtrails, I think these certain people know we need the chemtrails in order to keep them in hiding, in which they think it's the bad angel that's going to come out. But when the bad angel starts to come out, the only time that we don't get a balance with the good going the other way is when the bad comes out, the good comes out too. They both become sort of good and bad to each other. Anyways, there was something in here, a lot more that I wanted to say. The alpha, oh yes, this is what I wanted to say. AC/DC. And the reason for AC/DC is because on row 1, A to C. On row 2, D to C. Why do I do D to C on row 1 and row 2? Because what happens here, okay, is this A, creation of this. This creation replica is right here. This representation is back up to here. So it goes A, C, D, C. 1, 6, 4, 3 on a dice cube. I don't have the dice cube with me, but it makes that creation, and it shows an X in between these lines over here. I wish I can design it. No, can't design it. Anyways, okay, Raphael 7286. Again, the swords that they use in the cards, they're used in 8 different places in the Monopoly game, and they divide up the 4 properties between the trains and the corners. There's 2, 2, 2, and 2. Each one will say something different, because don't forget there's, I think, 3 chance places, and I think 2 community chests. And don't forget community chest, CC 33 EE, Electronic World, Electronic Spirit. I say it that way I could, because the E world in French is the spirit, E-spirit. Oh yeah, God exists for sure. And it's really pissy a little bit. I'm working so hard, and I'm trying to say, when is he going to actually tell me 100%? And you know what he turns around, he says to me, he says, man, he says, if you haven't learned by now that you have learned something already, and it wasn't totally on your own, he says, I'm going to get someone else. Oh, no. What he means by that is take it like it is. It is what it is. If you can't understand it or believe it, just continue on for the goodness that it is. Because it's fantastic. It's the greatest thing in the world to know there's something else that exists that protects you even after the end of life. So you don't really have to worry how you go, where you go, what's going to happen to your body. Don't worry, he's going to take care of you if you take care of him and honor his freedom. Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Andromeda, you're going to be watching down? You are? Okay. I seen you on that night. It is 3 days away from 7 years that this all began. 7 years, 2100, 2400. What about 2600 days? 2600 days. The number of half the Mother Earth, 26. And don't forget 622, 6, right? Or 26 and 26 is again the 52 of the Mayans. It all works. These books, even if they say they're not true, there's something in some of these books that show the truth. It is definitely, definitely, definitely 100% the truth. Another thing is, in the 0 column, in the roulette, okay, there are 2 sets, 2 areas, one with 1 0, one with 2 zeros. 1 and 2 is creation. The 3 makes it all. The 3 jumps every level. 1,000, 3 zeros. 100,000, 6 zeros. Well, not 100,000, but 6 zeros into the 100,000 range. And it's 3 zeros and 3 zeros, and all our life we keep going 3 zeros at a time. You don't think there's a pattern there? Sure, there ain't no pattern. The good Lord is out there. Oh my God, what would I do at night? What would I do at night? What would I do at night? If it wasn't this, what would I do? This is all I do. Do I do anything else? Well, I try to do a little bit. You know, I like when it's a little bit warmer. Hang out by the park, but I don't feel safe anymore. And I don't feel like it's you or me as people that are going to come get me. I feel like it's like the police, because when the police look at me, anytime I do something a little bit wrong, it seems like the police sense it off of me. It's like they're out to get me. And, well, I only got speeding tickets and stuff, but it's just a fashion of how the day I feel it the most, the day it happens. No matter how I try to protect my 2 ends, and I try and I try and I try. I don't want to do anything wrong, because it definitely is not going to go my way. And if I did do something wrong, right, and it was wrong, I couldn't handle living with myself. Not that I couldn't just accept it and say, okay, I did this, let's let it go and move on. Of course I could. I'm a balance, I'm a Libra. Too much, too little, in between, whatever it is. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's stop, sometimes it's go. That's the other thing I was trying to talk about, is that the center, right, where man actually lives, is the one spirit of the 9 birth of this 5 passage. The 5 passage is the ace spot, area 51, IS, like Islam. Okay, at the same time, it connects the 6th man. So it's the 9 passions connecting to the 6th man, and that's your 9 and 6. And on the other side, it would be 6 and 9. At the same time, it's the one spirit of the 6 islands, because the 1 ace is in the center, and it does go to the 6th man. And so you have your 1 spirit. And it is the center of 5, and it is next to the 6th man of who man is. So you have the wolf, in which is made up of 5 and 6. 5 by 6 is 30, 5 plus 6 is 11. Total is 41, which is the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean is a communication, some sort of communication cell underneath the water somewhere. And there's a piece also in the Baltic. I am almost so sure. I'm almost so sure. It's not all about anything else. You know, this New World Order is more than New World Order. This is by getting, I'm telling you, this is definitely, don't forget, sometimes there's just stories in my stories, and it just brings me to an area because I'm supposed to go somewhere else, but I don't think I can go somewhere else. Not in this case. No, not one bit. Not one bit, okay? This area of the Mediterranean is in the same row as the Chinese, okay, because of the Oriental Avenue. It's also in the place of reading, okay? Reading, okay? So I make a little joke, right? And it's also, is it the Ventnor, or what's the other one? Whatever it is, Continental, Connecticut, okay? So Connecticut is to connect. Connect the kit. Connect the kit. Start to assemble. So this part, when they get this, that means they have won from go all the way over to visiting jail. Okay? Because actually Monopoly is actually only played by visiting jail. And that creates the 7. 4 to 7 creates the 7. Do you understand what I'm saying? The number 7 and the number 1, you'd go like this and then connect down. You go to here and then connect down to here. You go to here and then connect to here. Connect to get to here. Connect to get to here. Okay? Now, like I say, they're going to want to come into Canada, whoever these people are, and because Quebec and Canada has a lot of resources, they're going to want to buy up our resources. And if they don't buy up our resources at the funnel, okay, they're going to go into the market and they're going to buy up our resources and then force us to give our oil and give our water to whoever demands it. We must watch the markets now. Somebody might just go and buy out our oil and make a big rise in the oil price and then make it fall again. Okay, taking the Canadian sources. Canada's last. It's a back door, my friends. Canada and Russia, the only two red ones I can believe in. One is in the sulky and the other one's the thoroughbred, the good old Russians and Canada. They're going to bind together with the rest of this world, and whoever those mean old people are supposed to be creating all this, they must stop, because it's coming into Canada. I feel it and I sense it the other night. Didn't I tell you? That was my dream the other night when everything started to spark and I saw the sparks in my electronics and everything was exploding. It was all about that. It was all about the natural resources that we take for granted, that there can't be a fire in our house, but there can be a fire in your house. That was the most absurd, most realistic thing I've ever seen. Now, the whole thing was it a figment of my imagination? Regardless, it got me to think. There is something in the Mediterranean, and there is a lot more out near the Baltic. They couldn't win over in the Baltic, and they stood down in Korea or wherever else they are only because they need to be there. Somehow they might be drilling underneath the ground, or maybe they have oil wells out there. I don't know. But somebody's drilling in a spot, and they're not drilling for oil, that's for sure. Okay? There's things going down underneath the ground, and we think it's always oil. And the last thing they want is the oil. There's something else under the ground. They know it. They know there's something underneath the ground. All we have to do is match up the monopoly to the roulette, to the understanding of how the dice and odds work in craps, and the way you can connect 4 numbers in roulette and then put a wheel over it, and it can put the 4 numbers together and send energy this way and energy this way, telling about what these 4 numbers are doing. You see, in roulette is almost like bowling. There may be 12 rows, but when you go in groups of 9, you have to stop at number 36, so you only counted 10 rows. There's 2 rows left. The same thing with bowling. If you throw a strike coming into the 10th frame, you complete the 10th frame, and then you get 2 more shots. Well, you get 2 more shots, you end up with 300, and 300 is 15x and 15x. It's the X-Man and the 1.5 egg omega omega, beta omega. 2 eggs. You want them scrambled? A little ham? Green eggs and ham? A little life inside the green. Would you think lime and lemon were no good? The 2 elements of this energy of this life is when the leaf comes off in September and she turns red and yellow, to when she springs up again from the ground, she turns green. The energy and its life, the yellow and the green. We got to start mixing and matching our colors. I don't say everything perfect, okay? I wish and I hope, and I'm going to try forever and ever and a day to do it a lot better to explain. I'm all over the place because I have no demand for what I do. I have to just guess out of my hat what I'm going to do next. So another thing is, do you know the 4 rows they have on the telephone? The reason they have those 4 rows on the telephone, okay, is because what happens is they take one telephone from this side and they put one telephone on this side, okay? Then they put one telephone up here and one telephone down there. Now the 4th row will connect the inside row, okay, where the cat goes on. So you have 3 numbers there, 3 numbers there, 3 numbers there, 3 numbers there, 3, 6, 9, 12. Now inside that 12 is where the 9 numbers go. Did you follow me? Let me show you. 3, and then this, and then 3, and then this. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Okay. Okay, here it is. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Now you go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. You overlap the numbers. Okay, and then you count up what it is, and that's what they mean in that spot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 6 rows. When it's 6 rows, this row overlaps on this, then this row comes and overlaps on this one. When it's 7 rows, it's something else. When it's 8 rows, it's something else. It always moves. I mean, when you go look at blueprints, you see it like that, but when you look at the other floor, it's something else. They're still blueprints, but they're different for each floor, right? I mean, you can show me on this floor you got 2 toilets, but the whole thing is there's only 1 drain. Okay, you don't want it going out your actual... anyways, yellow and red. And like I said, you see, in pool, the red is the 3 and the 11, which makes man alive. The 3 creation of the 5 and 6. 5 and 6 is 11. We all know the separations of all the balls in pool are by 8. 1 and 9, 2 and 10. And they all represent, and even when you hit the 7 ball, which is the 15 ball, but 1 and 5 is only 6. So 7 is the spirit of 76, okay, is God goes up to 7, but beta's numbers only goes up to 6. And beta's not every number. It's 2, 4, 6, 8. Beta's not 10, you know. Is she 10? 2 goes into 10. Anyways, beta goes up to the queen. And after that, the king is God, 7 and 6. 7 and 6. Why 7 and 6? Because God is actually, in this world, 7 and 6. He's the male and the female. He takes up both sides. Which way is he looking? You know what I'm saying? Watch out. Might be God. He's looking that way. No, he's looking up. No, it's the Joker. No, he's looking down. Oh, wait a second. There's a point on his hat. Oh, is it Daddy coming? There's a... Oh, on his sword. Look, does he have his mask in the background? Look at the Jack. He's got the mask in the background. Well, where's he going? Is it the Halloween ball? Raphael, 72. 86 in the constellation of Pegasus. We will find more.